Have you ever wondered why the Jewish people, whose history is so intertwined with Christianity, do not believe in Jesus as the Messiah? It is a question that comes up often, but the reasons are rarely fully revealed. It is not a question of rejection, but of a deep and complex divergence in faith and understanding. We are not here to argue or convert, but to respectfully illuminate the nuances of this important issue. Let us come together to understand the Jewish perspective. To understand the different perspectives, we must begin with the common roots of Judaism and Christianity. Both religions emerge from the same ancient history: Abraham, the covenant with God, the exodus from Egypt, and the receiving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. The Jewish people in the time of Jesus were a people longing for liberation and redemption. It is essential to realize that Jesus himself was Jewish. His teachings and his context were firmly rooted in Judaism. Yet, at a key moment in history, these two religions embarked on different paths. Judaism, a faith based on the interpretation of the Torah and rabbinic traditions, evolved in its own specific direction. Christianity, on the other hand, developed a new belief system centered on Jesus as the Messiah, the Son of God, and his resurrection. The main difference lies in how these religions understand the Messiah, the nature of God, and the role of the Torah or the law. Let's take a look at these. In Judaism, the Messiah is not conceived of as a divine being or the Son of God. He is seen as a future king, a human leader in the lineage of King David, who will bring an era of peace, justice, and redemption for all humanity. The concept of a Trinity, God existing as three equal persons, that is central to Christianity, is not compatible with the strict monotheistic tradition of Judaism. God is seen as one, indivisible, and without physical form. Furthermore, while Christians believe that the law was fulfilled through Jesus, and therefore Christians are not bound by the laws of the Old Testament, for the Jewish people, the Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, still serves as a divine guide for life and is central to their faith and practice. The 613 commandments of the Torah provide the structure and framework for Jewish life and spirituality. These are not outdated rules, but expressions of God's will and opportunities for sacred connection. So what exactly do the Jewish people envision when they speak of the coming of the Messiah? In Jewish tradition, the coming of the Messiah will be accompanied by a series of very clear signs. These signs are very concrete and tangible, not simply based on faith. For example, all Jewish exiles will return to the land of Israel. There will be universal peace. The temple will be rebuilt in Jerusalem, and the world will recognize the one God. The Messiah will usher in an era of peace and justice for the world. Many of the problems that plague the world, such as violence and persecution, will be resolved by the coming of the Messiah. This is not simply a spiritual or theological change. It involves a transformation of the world itself. He will establish a new order and a universal recognition of the God of Israel. And for the Jewish people, the Messiah will be the embodiment of God's covenant with them, a leader who will bring about the full realization of their destiny. This is not to say that the Jewish people are expecting an imminent arrival. The Messiah will come at a time known only to God, and it is the task of the Jewish people to make the world a better place, which hastens the coming of the Messiah. There is another critical layer to this story: the often painful relationship between Judaism and Christianity over the centuries. Throughout history, many acts of oppression and persecution have been committed against the Jewish people in the name of Christianity. These historical experiences have shaped Jewish perceptions. The association of Christianity with persecution and forced conversion has made it difficult for many Jews to accept Jesus as the Messiah. It would be naive to ignore this historical context, as it continues to have an impact today. The Holocaust, in which millions of Jews were systematically murdered, heightened the Jewish imperative to maintain their own identity and traditions. It has been the Jewish experience to question those who have not sought peace with the Jewish people. The scars of history profoundly impact how both communities engage with each other. This has led the Jewish people to seek their own path and to be wary of any kind of proselytism. The very idea of the Jewish people accepting Jesus as the Messiah would seem to them an affront to the millions who died based on the historical relationship between Christians and Jews. It is also essential to understand that Judaism is not a monolithic entity. There is a wide range of perspectives within the Jewish community itself. Some Jews may be very strict in their observance and understanding of the Torah, while others may have a more secular or liberal approach. Some Jews may be deeply offended by the very idea of a Jewish Messiah being Jesus, while others may be more tolerant and willing to find common ground. This is not a simple yes or no answer, but a spectrum of different views. For example, you might hear someone say, for me, Judaism is about community, tradition, and living a life guided by ethical principles. The question of the Messiah is not the most important thing to me. The here and now is. Or you might hear, we are still waiting for the Messiah to come. Someone who will usher in a time of peace for the entire world. Until then, we need to make the world a better place. These voices, while just two examples, highlight the diverse thinking and approaches within the Jewish community. The reasons why Jews do not believe in Jesus are deeply rooted in theology, historical experience, and the ongoing development of the Jewish tradition. It is not a question of rejection or disrespect, but of a distinct path within the faith. Understanding this difference is important not only for fostering better interfaith relationships, but also for enhancing our own understanding of the complexities of human belief. It is essential to recognize that diverse perspectives enrich our world, and to have thoughtful conversations with one another, rather than judgments. This is an issue that many communities feel strongly about, and it is important to learn about each other in an unbiased and respectful way. This allows us to learn more about the human experience.